This episode sponsored by G-Note Stationaries. I am Kavandi. I travel and then tell you all the stories. In this episode, I meet Olga, who is a Russian tour guide in Malaysia, and then take a walk in Chinese market. After buying a battery, I had a meeting with a Russian tour guide who had been living in Malaysia for 8 years. I checked my emails while I was waiting for her. I had a job request from Marco Polo, and I answered that I cannot employ anyone yet.
Is it your mate from there?
I am here. Nice to meet you.
Olga was a professional tour guide, so she didn't lose the time, and after some greeting, took out a map from her bag and started to promote some tours. But as I had 4 other team members, and as I deeply believe in polling and democracy, I asked her to promote for all of us. So we picked up everything and joined the team.
I think we can go.
Olga promoted us a bunch of free tours, but as it is a big dilemma for Iranians to select one free out of a bunch of free things, we spent hours on polling. But after hours of debate, we find out that the only tour which is compatible with our date and time is a downtown tour. Therefore, we left the table to join that unique tour. Chaos in the streets reminds Olga that we have to go there with taxi, and we can't because we are 6. She conferred with me about this problem, but as we Iranians are genius and these sort of problems are piece of cake for us, I answered her, we will find a taxi and then ask the driver to call for second taxi. Then we can go with 2. Taxi drivers definitely know each other. I looked around and found a taxi driver who took off his sandals and sat on his taxi. I thought how lucky we are. We started to negotiate with him, but shit happened. Not only he had no one to call, but also he was not ready to give us a lift because of rush hour.
The taxi in Malaysia refused, when they see the foreigners, they refuse to use the meter. But with the meter is really cheap. So we must find a good one, good driver using the meter, the bonus one.
Maybe you don't believe in praying, but I do. Anyhow, try it free. I prayed for a big blue taxi and I received it. Sometimes happen. Not only for sociability, but also for curiosity. It was a good idea to chat about Russia and Russian culture on the way. Most probably, just like me, the first music which is come up on your mind about Russia is this one. But after being familiar with Russia and Russian culture from a Russian point of view, that folk music faded out and took her place to this one.
Помнишь, как шли мы по берегу, я осторожно взял тебя за руку. Луна, песок, вода, пусть эта ночь с нами будет всегда. Под облаками или на дне, эта любовь не погаснет во мне. Белый парус, синяя линия, я улетаю, ты только дождись меня. Ты вдруг стала всего мне дороже, всех побед и подвигов тоже. Пройден экватор, не остановиться, просто с тобой никак невозможно проститься, не покориться. Я уже знаю, что пропадаю, не замечаю.
We had just warmed up by chatting about Russian astronavigation and the fact of being the first human on the moon. We had started to chat about Yuri Gagarin. But suddenly the Chinese market gates showed up and Olga said,
Excuse me, you can drop us here because we just walk. Мы находимся в центре Куала-Лумпура.
Russian is an easy language and I am sure that you can understand it if you listen it carefully, but I translate some as my duty. She said, here is the center of Kuala Lumpur city and we are in a Chinese market. Here is the best place to buy souvenirs, especially cheap fake products like Rolex. And at last she said something about durian fruit, which I will tell you later.
Хотя сейчас не дуриан сезон, но если повезет.
Я не знаю русский язык, я не понимаю русский язык, а все хорошо. Is it okay?
Yeah, he speak good Russian. Beautiful fruit to try.
None of shopkeepers allowed us to shoot from their shop and products. I asked one of them that why you don't let us to shoot. She laughed at my face and said, because there is lots of copiers in the world. They took photos and produced the same. But why she was laughing? Because all of products were fake. One of the hot products in the world is a smartwatch which connect to cell phone or computer and do some task. These kinds of watches were easy to find in this market, but as fake as other products. The price was started from $10 to $45. This is mangosteen, a kind of tropical fruit which grow only in hot and humid countries like Malaysia, Thailand and Philippines.
My favorite fruit. The Queen of England, during that time, no airplane. Queen of England, she loved this fruit, and me too. So she paid 1 kilo of gold, exchanged with 1 kilo of mangosteen. So because to reach England by boat, this one take time.
I really loved the part that she resembled herself with Queen of England and said, Queen of England loved this fruit, me too.
No airplane. Queen of England, she loved this fruit, and me too. Me too.
The next interesting things in this market was some small shops like this, which had some products like this or this. Anyhow, if you know the products, it is okay, but if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you about. Ask it from someone else. Our walk on Chinese market finished, but as you remember, our goal was joining a free tour. So we continued our way, but we find another street market which I will show you on the next episode.
In Moscow we have Arbat, which is walking street. Here in Malaysia we have this type of Arbat.